guys, welcome back to This Girl Rants. So today we're going to be discussing The Giver by Lois Lowry. And guys, I'm not even sure where to begin with this book, except for to tell you there's gonna be spoilers, like spoilers. And if you want the spoiler-free review, the link will be in the description. I honestly had a hard time writing the spoiler-free review, so let's just see how this goes. So first off, let's just start with the premise of the book. The whole idea of the book is basically that humanity went so insane that everyone decided somewhere in history that the best idea ever would be to essentially suppress all emotions, have other people choose your family for you, have other people choose your job for you, and have only one person in the entirety of the community know world history, which is basically insane if you think about it, which is interesting because of the fact that the way the book is written, it doesn't feel insane. It makes logical sense why things are done the way that they are. But then you think about it and you realize, it's so depressing that people live their lives never knowing true love. They don't even know their own parents. They don't know their grandparents. They don't get to keep their own children. Like, it's a whole thing about you grow up in these family units where basically the government has chosen who your spouse will be. You're only together to raise children, and the government gives you those children each year. No one has individual birthdays. Everyone just grows another year each year at the same time in December, which is just really sad. I love my birthday. I would hate it if I didn't get to celebrate my birthday. But, so the point of this book is the fact that Jonas, the main character, he gets chosen to be the receiver, which is the person who holds all the memories of humanity. And so he goes to train with the Giver, who used to be the receiver, but now he's the Giver because he's giving the memories to Jonas, and Jonas is receiving them, hence the name. But so while Jonas is like learning these things, he's literally being given emotions and color and music and like basically all the things that make life worth living, like the things that actually bring joy. And I'm not talking about like, oh, that was pleasant, but like those things that you would fight for, those things that you love, those moments of exhilaration, of deep emotional connection. He is learning about that. He is gaining that. And everyone around him, their emotions are dulled. I mean, they have moments where they discuss their feelings, but there's specifically a part in the book where Jonas has a realization that even though they're discussing their feelings, they're using words like, I was angry today. And like his little sister says, I was angry today because a little boy cut in line, or he didn't follow the rules, even though he was from a different area, so maybe he didn't know the rules. And he's like sitting there and realizing that's what my sister felt was not anger. It was more mild annoyance. So their emotions aren't necessarily gone, but they're dampened, like heavily. And they take drugs every morning to keep that from happening. I kind of wonder what would happen if they didn't take the drugs, but maybe I just missed it, but that wasn't seriously talked about in this book. I watched the movie, and that's hit more heavily on in the movie than it is in the book. But still, it's just this fascinating idea of somewhere along the line, someone made that decision for everyone, and now this is how society is. And Jonas and the Giver are realizing, someone made a terrible mistake. Also, like, I'm sorry, but it's cruel to force literally all of humanity's emotions and history on one person, because they don't just know the past things that happened, they feel them. So like there's a scene where the giver gives Jonas war, and he's like there and he's in the moment, and to only have one person, like he literally has no one else he can go to for help dealing with these crazy intense complex emotions, and they're just accepted to bear that for the good of the community or whatever, which is like so ridiculous. Like no one should be forced to do that. And you know, someone will be like, well, he could have chosen to not choose that or whatever, but you're literally conditioned from birth to just accept whatever they give you at the age of 12. Jonas is 12 in this. In the movie he's 18, which feels a little more like he might be able to deal with it, but then also there's some, I'm not entirely sure about that. But in the book he's 12, and I cannot imagine if I were to be given what I was supposed to do when I was 12. Okay, my life would have been way different. And probably less exciting, and also less wonderful in every way. And so it's just fascinating. And so Jonas and the giver are basically, they realize that the people need the memories back, and they realize that if Jonas leaves, the memories will be released back to the people. So they devise a plan to leave, and you know, it's not a very exciting book, but weirdly that makes it better because of the fact that it's literally set in a society where there's not a lot of intensity that happens. And so the fact that like the most intense I feel like it gets is either in the like flashes of the memories Jonas gets, or in the moments where Jonas is hiding from the planes looking for him after he leaves the community. But there's no like huge chase scene. They're never like close on his tail. There's no fighting. There's no really conflict at all, except for the fact that Jonas is realizing that there's a better way. People should be able to choose how they feel and what they want to do. And it just works perfectly in this world to have so little conflict yet so much tension. And it's just amazing. Also, the whole release thing, that is messed up. I am sorry, but like the idea that identical twins, there can't be two of the same person, so they release one, which FYI means they kill them, which of course they don't realize that what they're doing is wrong because their emotions have been suppressed, and so they don't understand the issues with that. And so like, first off, identical twins, not the same person. Like, even if they look the same, they can have completely different personalities. I mean, I have nephews who are twins, and granted, they're not identical, but their personalities are crazy different. And like, that's just how people work. So I don't know, it's just really, there's certain things about the community where everything is painted in these rose-colored glasses, but you look behind the curtain even a little bit and just everything breaks apart. It was just masterfully done. It was written super well. It was intriguing without having that like heart-racing, blood-pumping action all the time. Like, the stakes were high without the characters having to constantly be physically fighting. It's a mental or emotional battle that Jonas has to make throughout this. He has to decide, is he going to follow the norms? Is he going to do what's the best for the community, or is he going to do what he thinks is right? And I cannot wait to read the rest of this series. There's 4 books in this series, and it ends on a cliffhanger, and I really want to know what happens. So I'm excited. So thank you so much for listening to my rant. Please like and subscribe, and I hope you have a great day. Bye!